Now let's go and kick a football. Well, let's kick some heads. On it goes, this mad cancel culture. A couple of weeks ago, some of Dr. Seuss's books were banned. The publisher apologised for selling something so terribly racist to the little kiddies. But the more concessions you make to the race warriors, the more that they demand. This is an industry. This is an industry. They're never going to say enough, let me tell you. And so, another children's book has been pulled by its publisher, one of the Captain Underpants series. This one is the adventures of Ook and Gluk Kung Fu cavemen from the future. Some clown of a look-at-me father says this book is racist. It's relying on multiple instances of racist imagery posted and stereotypical tropes, including a kung fu master wearing a supposed traditional-style tang coat. And it's got Asian characters with dashes for eyes, as if Asians don't in fact have narrow eyes, plus stereotypical Chinese proverbs, and a storyline that is a kung fu master rescued by the non-Asian heroes using their kung fu skills, which is father fumed against because it was the master who taught them. Why are they rescuing him and not vice versa, when in fact these characters are the kids who are supposed to be the heroes of the story? Now let me show you some of the offending passages and see if you can spot a single offensive thing about this book, except, of course, for the deliberate misspellings.
The wisest warriors win without a battle. The flexible willow tree does not fight against the storm, yet it survives. Now, this claim of racism made by one man, made 11 years after the book actually came out, is obviously bull. But so scared are people now. I mean, the cowardice around us. So scared are people now of being labelled racist that the author, Dav Pilkey, and his publisher have apologised. They've pulled the book. They've even given money to charity. Pilkey grovelled, "This book contains harmful racial stereotypes and passively racist imagery. I wanted to take this opportunity to publicly apologise for this. It was and is wrong and harmful to my Asian readers, friends, family, and to all Asian people." Joining me on Newswatch is Jack Houghton, digital editor here on Sky News. Jack, you've gone through this book. How racist is this terrible, terrible tome?
Good evening, Andrew. Yes, look, I found the book wholly uncontroversial, but I don't know, maybe I've failed the woke Rorschach test, which apparently everyone is failing even a decade after they do something. The thing that I found really interesting about this, though, was this phrase, passive racism, and the ABC used this in a headline today describing this book. And that really concerns me, because what that really is taking away from is intent. Now, if somebody is talking about race or depicting race in a way that somebody maybe finds unfavourable, well, surely the intent has to matter for something. We can't just say, well, that's passive. They didn't intend to do it. It was accidental, but it's still racism. Well, can we never mention someone's race? Like, how hogtied do we have to be when we're having conversations? I find the whole thing strange.
Well, that's actually, Jack, you actually give me, remind me of the one consolation in all this, that these woke warriors, can you imagine what dinner at their home must be like with their closest friends? They must be all on eggshells, no one wanting to talk about anything, maybe except, fluffy kittens and nice puppies, just in case, for fear of causing offence to anyone at all. Now, given all this, I mean, the book is totally innocuous. What gets me is why the publisher and the author then apologise for and withdraw a book that isn't racist and that only one man has complained about in the entire 11 years that it's been on the market.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if you're the author of a book that you wrote, you didn't intend to offend anybody, and it is wholly uncontroversial, you should stand your ground. It's a matter of conviction, because you're actually damning everybody else. You're lowering the bar of discourse to such a trivial, childish point, a standard that, I mean, you're right, their dinner table discourse must be so boring, and just, why would you want to be around any of these people, let alone allow them to set where the agenda is going to go and what we're allowed to discuss? I don't want them to tell me what I'm allowed to discuss, because I don't think that they're very good thinkers.